A man stood on my doorstep, sweat sliding down the sides of his face. "My name is Daniel," he said, voice tight. "Please. I need to apologize to someone in this house." I didn't recognize him, had never seen him a day in my life, but the way his gaze shifted past me toward the hallway, toward the place where my wife usually wandered barefoot on Saturday mornings, sent a cold jolt through me. That was the moment everything began to unravel. 2 months earlier, when Emily mentioned she'd joined a gym, she said it as casually as noting the forecast. "I just want to feel healthier," she told me while pulling her hair into that loose, messy bun she wore whenever something weighed on her mind. "I've been feeling sluggish. It's time." I hadn't questioned it. Why would I? She'd always been honest. Or so I believed. But now, here stood a stranger begging to apologize, and every quiet insecurity I'd buried deep started clawing its way up my throat. "I think you've got the wrong house," I said, my hand tightening around the edge of the door. "Who exactly do you need to apologize to?" His eyes met mine and I watched something crumble in them. Shame, regret, or both? "Emily," he whispered. The world tilted. I stepped outside and let the door click shut behind me. "You need to explain that," I murmured. "Right now." He swallowed hard. "I didn't know she was married. I swear. She never said a word about you." A dull ringing filled my ears. My fingers went numb, as if my body refused to let the reality sink in. "What are you apologizing for?" I forced out. He looked down, then up again, his voice faltering. We had something at the gym. And yesterday I found out she lied about being single." Air rushed out of my lungs. But instead of yelling or collapsing like betrayed men do in movies, I just stood there motionless, watching this stranger fall apart like he was confessing to a priest, not the husband of the woman he'd slept with. "I'm not angry at you," I said. "But I need you to tell me everything." So he did. He described the small smiles first, the hesitant, almost shy ones she gave him after class, then the short conversations, then longer ones, then drinks, then nights. Nights. The word sliced straight through me. He kept repeating that he hadn't known she was married, over and over, like he needed absolution for that alone. But I wasn't listening to his guilt. I was drowning in the timeline he was laying out. The night she came home late because of extra stretching. The day she smelled of another man's cologne and brushed it off as someone passing too close. The Saturday she said she needed me time. I wanted to interrogate him. I wanted every detail and none of them all at once. My tongue felt heavy. My hands trembled. But I refused to let him witness me break. Eventually he muttered, "I'm sorry," again. I nodded, barely hearing it. I watched him walk down the front path, get into his car and drive away. Only when his engine disappeared down the street did my lungs finally unlock. I went inside. Emily stood in the kitchen pouring cereal, as if it were any other morning. She smiled when she saw me. "You're up early." I watched her, her soft t-shirt, her bare feet, the absent-minded way she tapped the spoon against the bowl. "How was the gym yesterday?" I asked. She blinked. "Good." "Why?" "Just curious." And that became the first lie she told me that morning. She had no idea I already knew, or at least knew part of it. But I wasn't ready to confront her. Not yet. I needed the whole truth before dragging it into daylight. The following days felt like moving underwater. Slow, distorted, muffled. I watched her closely. Not suspiciously. Methodically. Quietly gathering evidence. She started carrying her phone everywhere. Even into the bathroom. Her gym bag stayed zip-tight when she came home, as if she didn't want me looking inside. She smiled, but her eyes didn't join the smile. Or maybe they never had and I was only noticing now. One night she fell asleep on the couch. Her phone buzzed. A name I didn't recognize lit the screen. A message preview appeared. "Can we talk? This doesn't feel right." My heart slammed so hard I thought it might bruise my ribs. I didn't open the message. I didn't need to. I turned the screen off and set the phone back exactly where it had been. In the dim glow of the room, with her breathing softly beside me, something inside me cracked. quietly like a bone under pressure finally giving way. The next morning she caught me watching her. "What?" she asked, her voice soft, almost nervous. "Do you still love me?" I asked. Her spoon froze halfway to her mouth. "What kind of question is that? Just answer." She lowered the bowl. "Of course I do. Why would you even ask?" The second lie she told that week. My hands curled into fists beneath the table, not from anger but to hold myself together. That night, when she left for the gym, I followed her. Far enough back that she wouldn't notice. My grip on the steering wheel was so tight my knuckles went white. She parked and went inside. I waited 10 minutes, then got out. I hadn't intended to follow her in. I just needed to see something. Anything. But as the glass door slid open, I heard a man's voice. "Emily, please. Just listen." My chest constricted. I crept closer, quiet, careful. "It was wrong," she said, her voice shaking. "It never should have happened. So you're just going to disappear? Just like that? I'm married, Daniel. This has to stop." Hearing my wife say those words, soft, guilty, to a man who cared enough to plead with her, felt like someone reached into my ribcage and twisted everything out of place. I slipped away before either of them noticed me. When she came home an hour later, I was sitting at the dining table, hands folded, heart steady the way things get just before they finally break. She froze when she saw my expression. "We need to talk," I said. Her eyes darted to her gym bag, then the door, then back to me, as if calculating escape routes. "No more lies," I said. "No more stories about cool downs or long classes or needing space. I want the truth. All of it." She lowered herself into the chair slowly, as though it might collapse beneath her. And she told me everything I'd already learned from the stranger at my door. But hearing it from her was different. Sharper. More intimate. Far more destructive. Every word she spoke severed another thread between us. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't mean for it to happen." "You didn't mean to lie?" I asked. "Or you didn't mean to get caught?" Her silence answered both. The worst part wasn't the cheating. It was realizing she'd stepped out of our marriage long before I knew something was wrong. That she'd quietly slipped away piece by piece while I still believed we were whole. When she finished, I rose from my chair. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I simply breathed. "I don't know what happens next," I said. "But it won't be what we had." She wiped at her eyes. "Can we fix it?" I looked at her, really looked, and saw a woman seeking comfort, not consequences. "No," I said softly. "We can't." Even I was surprised by the ache in my voice. That night, I slept in the guest room. 3 hours later, her muffled sobs seeped through the wall. But they didn't pull me toward her. If anything, they pushed me farther away. Some betrayals explode loudly. Hers ruined me in a whisper.